Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the 15 minutes of my day where I have to wear clothes. Well, a shirt and hat, anyway. Ian, how do you stay so freaking productive? You have all this stuff you're doing, you have kids to take care of, you have a bunch of dogs and cats and all kinds of animals running around your house like a freaking madhouse zoo over here. And on top of that, you're answering all these questions for your full time job, and then you're also making content for YouTube. How do you keep it all online? Let me tell you the answer, the secret, how I do it, and it's right in front of you if you haven't guessed it already. Trello.com. So Trello is this super awesome free tool, and I'm going to show you how it works. First and foremost, go sign up for Trello, get your free account. I have a link down below. If you want to use that one, then they'll give me some points or whatever towards like gold membership or something like that. But for you, it's totally free. Just use the link below. Okay, so here I'm logged in. I'm going to create a new board, and you can click from one of these backgrounds if you want right off the bat. You can always change that later if you want. I'm pretty sure I just saw a shark. Definitely using that. Okay, and we'll just say productivity demo. And you can add a team if you have a bunch of developers that you're working with, or even a client, a customer, something like that. You can make it private, you can make it public. I'm going to make this a private one, productivity demo, create the board. And now that it's created, okay, so let's take a look at this dashboard and figure out how we can use it. I'm sure there's actually a ton of really powerful things you can do with it in addition to what I'm already doing already. But I only use it for specific things, so that's what I'm going to show you. And feel free to explore it on your own, read through your documentation, and see their demos of other people's boards, etc. Okay, so over here on the left-hand side, we have a enter list title input for this form. So typically, I'm using this for developer stuff. So I'll give you an example of how I use it for developing coding projects, and then I'll show you another example very similar for how I just do stuff in my day-to-day life. Okay, so if I'm doing a developer project, then I'm going to be following kind of like an agile workflow. And so I'm going to say backlog, add that to the list, and then it pops up another menu. And on this one, I'm just going to call this one like currently doing. And then another one, and we'll call this one QC, or you can say quality control or quality assurance. And then another one called done. And if you want to get real specific with Agile, I think there's like one or two other steps that you can put in there, but this is the gist of it. Okay, so on the backlog, I'm going to add things in here that are really important. Well, the importance will be based on the order, but these are the things that I need to get done for my project to be fulfilled. Okay, so I add a card, and this particular project is just going to be a simple web app. So I'm going to say something like plan out the, or we'll just say design the database, and we'll add a card. And if you want, you can click on the card, and then here's the description. You just click on that form. You can begin typing, so you can say something like decide how models will be oriented or designed, whatever. And you can even like outline the models if you want. So the text that you're writing inside of here, you can click on formatting help to get formatting help, or if you already know Markdown, you can just use Markdown syntax. So if you start doing stuff like hyphens, like I'm about to do, then you'll get an ordered list. And if you do numbers, you'll get so hyphens will be unordered, numbers will be ordered. Okay, so this is unordered list. I'm just going to do something like post and comment and user, and then you save it, and it didn't convert it into a list, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. Just know that you can use Markdown. I'd have to go back and figure out why it's not working. But anyway, moving forward, someone else on your team comes over here and they comment and they're like, why are we calling it a post? How about, I don't know, blog or something? And then, so now you have this comment. So you have this working ecosystem of comments on, these are basically what they call cards, or you can consider them kind of like a thread. You can add attachments, you can add images with the attachments, the checklist. That may have been what I wanted to do. But you can have a checklist so you can see what's been done, what hasn't been done. You can do labels, you can invite people. So if you have somebody that you want to work with, like a client or a person that you're programming with, then you can add members to this, and you can also add them from right here. You can add existing members. If they don't have a Trello account, you can invite them, and if you invite them and they sign up, then you get points towards your gold membership, which just gives you a little bit of extra stuff. And I think that's what I have here. I've got this little gold crown on my icon. Okay, so back to the cards and how they kind of work. Let's say we add another card, and this one's going to be like build out model. So that's part of design the database basically, and then build out views. and build out routes, and you guessed it, build out controllers. Okay, and then you decide, oh, controllers should actually be up top or whatever, that's more important for me. So you can just drag and drop and put it up top. And so it's kind of a level of priority thing. And if you really wanted to, you could go in here and add a label. So edit the label and say, okay, this one's green, this is super important, and now it's green. And like this one over here is, you know, yellow, so it's kind of important. And then this one over here is orange. You get the point. So last one, red, not that important at all. Okay, so once you take something and you decide you're working on it, okay, right now I'm designing the database, then you just drag and drop it over into currently doing, and now you're working on it. And anybody else, this is all live with sockets. So if you move something and someone else is on the site, they're going to see that it gets moved. And so there's also an activity log, so you can see like, oh, just now or a few seconds ago, someone moved this, and now this is there, someone commented on that. So it's very interactive, it's very live, and this will keep you productive. So if you're following Agile workflow, obviously you want to not spread yourself out super thin, and you want to focus on one thing at a time, and you want to do that thing until it's done. So you want to take it from the backlog to currently doing, work on it with your team or whoever's in that sprint with you. A sprint is just like the duration of time it takes for you to finish something until you reassess whatever that thing is. If it's not done by the time the sprint is over, and you say, hey, do we keep working on this, or do we put it back in the backlog and working on something more important? So you put it over in quality control, and then you or someone else, ideally on a larger team, you'd have an entire quality control team. If you don't, then it would be you, goes over this, or you go over it with the client or your coworker, and you say, okay, is everything inside of this one done? And then it's officially marked as done. You're done with it, go to the next one, pull it over into currently doing, begin working on it. So that is how I stay productive when I'm developing. It's super easy to like start working on something and just get caught up in the minutia of whatever it is you're doing, whether it's CSS or whatever BS, where you're working on it and you're just like, oh, I just spent 3 hours like trying to get this image to go over 3 pixels and like, you know, float to the right of some text or whatever. And that's really actually not a priority. The priority was getting authentication working. So I really should have been working on authentication. And then after the sprint ended, I should have reevaluated whether or not what I was working on was either ready to be quality control and then put into done, or put back into the backlog so I can work on something more important. Okay, so this kind of thing will definitely save you a lot of time, and time is money. That's why I talk so fast when I'm making these videos, right? Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Right. Okay, so then you can make an entirely different board. So if I go back to boards, and I want to create a new board, let's see here. Create new board at the bottom. This one's going to be the roses or whatever, and the title. So this one is just going to be like personal to-dos, and then you create the board, and once it gets created, same process. Okay, so you can just say, have like a backlog of to-dos, or you can just call it to-do list, and then you can have your currently doing, and then you can have done, because you know, in real life, some stuff needs quality control, but it's not like development, right? You don't need to like go through and be like, did I go to the store and get groceries? Like, yeah, the groceries are in your refrigerator. You win. Okay, so over here, you can have go grocery shopping, and then click that and get your checklist, add the checklist, add an item to the checklist, fruit, meat, cereal, milk, you get it. So there's a mobile app for Trello, so if you're on Android or iPhone, or I don't know, they probably have it for the other OSs as well, then you can download that app, you can pull it up, really easy intuitive interface, and you can go through this, and boom, you've got your checklist that is on your computer, it's on your phone, it's on your significant other's phone, and you guys can all coordinate and show each other, okay, well, I already got the fruit, or I already got cereal, I already got whatever, and when you're done with this, you know, you're at the store and you're working on it, and you just put it in done. You really don't even need 3 of these, but it could be helpful depending on what your workflow is for stuff like that. So that's just a simple example of grocery shopping, but it's a nice way to have reminders of things that you need to do, and then have details about those things. So like when I'm about to fall asleep, I always come up with the best ideas, like make a video about Trello, right? And so if I fall asleep, the chances are that I might forget about it. So I just like whip my phone out real quick, and quickly jump on Trello and put the idea in there, and then until the next great idea comes up and I wake back up or whatever. So it's really easy to use across all devices. Definitely helps you stay productive. I know if you're anything like me, you've just got a ton of stuff to do from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Your day is packed full of stuff. And if you ever find yourself kind of like spinning your wheels and you're just like, oh, what am I doing? I should just be watching Netflix right now because I can't figure out what I'm doing. Check your Trello board, and that will help you stay on track. So that's it. Definitely recommend using Trello. See below for the link to sign up. If you use that link, again, for you, it's totally free. For me, they give me points toward the gold membership or whatever it is, and it just gives me a bunch of extra features. Same goes for you. If you invite your friends and family, coworkers, etc., then you can also get these gold member blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's it. Sign up for Trello, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.